Hey astronauts, it's me, Brandy, back with another tarot pick a card video, and it has been a while, but I'm so excited to be back. You guys know I took that time to go back and do that intensive research on my Mars and Aries video, which I will link above for you guys. I like to think it hasn't been done in this way before, so check it out. It should be interesting, and it should be like eye-opening for you if you are into astrology. There will be more videos on astrology to come because I love astrology. I probably love it a little bit even more than tarot. So the question for this reading is, what good surprises will be coming for you in 2020? So I did some weird numbering with the cards, so don't come for me for that, but like these were the ones that I could basically find. I'm not even gonna lie, I couldn't find like 1 and 2, and I was just like, let's just use the numbers we got. So we have pile number 1 being pile number 8, pile number 2 being 0, pile number 3 being 6, pile number 4 being 3, and pile number 5, well, being pile number 5. So let's jump into this reading now that we have gotten everything out of the way, and just sit back, relax, and choose. Okay guys, if you've chosen pile number 1 being number 8, let's just get started on your reading. Actually, let me move that for here a little bit so I can see. We have the 10 of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Tower. Funny how we're doing a reading about surprises. We got the Tower. We have the 8 of Swords, and we have the 2 of Cups. And then for the astrology oracle cards, we have Mercury retrograde and 8th house endings and beginnings. That's interesting that we have the 8th house and the Tower. You know, both of those things sort of represent emergency situations and surprises and unexpected events. So let me help you guys get a better look at these cards. So if you guys are not new to my channel, you guys know that I normally read the negative and the positive, but since this is reading concentrating on good surprises, I'm going to negate the negative aspects, you know, just because I don't want people to be in bad spirits right now. I feel like we're in this part of 2020 that's like, okay, so with the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Swords, first thing I want to say is I don't see any fire sign energy. I mean, we have the Tower, which does sort of represent Mars in a sense, but from the minor arcana, we don't have any fire sign energy, which lets me know that the events that takes place that are going to be surprising or good is not going to be something that is highly active, and it's not indicative of anything that has to do with a passion of yours, like a personal passion project. In astrology, the fire sign houses represent the 1st house, which is your physical body. We have, and the 5th house, which is, I guess, your house of like entertainment, fun, romance, stuff like that. And the 9th house, which is like your higher learning, higher education. And it can also sort of represent like global communication as well. Okay, so social media would sort of fall into the 9th house as well as the 11th house. So what that lets me know is that the things that are going to be good for you, like I said, are not going to have to do with some sort of personal belief, personal passion, personal body thing. Like, it's not like you're gonna lose 10 pounds and it's going to be like this crazy surprise for you or something like that, or you're going to learn something on social media that's going to blow you away and going to be this good surprise. So these things we can obviously negate from the situation. With the 10 of Cups here and the Ace of Swords going on here, that lets me know that this is probably going to have to do with something near and dear to you. I normally get the 10 of Cups to indicate house and home, or just generally just being happy. And with the Ace of Swords here next to it, so it's kind of like saying you're happy about some shocking news regarding something someone hasn't said. And like, it's like with this particular card in the After Tarot deck on the 8 of Swords, it's somebody who's being unbind. When I get the Eight of Swords, I get someone who doesn't feel comfortable saying what's on their mind. Like they normally feel like they're going to be judged or ridiculed or lashed out or just like cut down in a sense. So it's something shocking, something surprising that someone's going to say that's going to bring you guys closer together, and something somebody has been holding back from you. And I think it relates to, you know, their feelings. I've gotten the Two of Cups. I can't say that it's solely just relationships, because I have gotten the Two of Cups to represent friendships as well. So maybe you have a friend and you guys haven't been connecting well, or a love interest and you guys haven't been connecting in the way that you want to. But over the course of 2020, this person is going to come back and say something to you that makes you guys feel connected. Like you feel like you two really have that bond where you're just like, you have this emotional understanding of each other. I get the Two of Cups a good amount to represent people sort of working well together and being content within their relationship with each other. So I automatically know this has to do with you and another person, maybe multiple people for some of you, but mainly has to do with your communication with a certain person. And they're going to say something that's going to, I don't know, make you guys feel good about each other. Look, everyone's just like cuddled up on each other with this card with the Two of Cups here. And when we have Mercury retrograde, which I didn't even realize we had, Mercury retrograde always kind of represents revisiting something, reflecting on something. And a lot of the times with Mercury retrograde for everyone, we get these blasts from the past, and this 8th house energy. It's so interesting because I kind of feel like the 8th house is this house. Well, I don't feel like it. I know this. The 8th house is this house that deals with, it can be very harsh communication. So it can be something that somebody said which you may have misunderstood, because when we have Mercury retrograde, a lot of the times the way we think someone is going to respond, or the way we expect a situation to go, often ends up being the opposite of that situation, is the best way I can put it. Like I heard, it was this astrologer one time, and I was like, that is the best way to put it. It was like years ago in college, I was listening to this astrology podcast, and I was like, yes, that is the best way to put Mercury retrograde. How you think a situation is going to go is not how that situation is going to plan out. Like if you were applying for a job during Mercury retrograde and you thought the job wasn't going to be that great or something, or maybe the pay wasn't what you were what you wanted exactly, but you're like, okay, I really need a job, and you apply for it, and all of a sudden it's like the most amazing job you could have ever had. That's personally happened to me before. Well, I wouldn't say it's the most amazing job, but it has been better than I thought it was. But with this 8th house energy here, and the 8th house just being such an emotional house, and the Mercury retrograde, I'm reading this as like Mercury retrograde in the 8th house. It's like you're communicating, and it's about with another person, because somebody's, the 8th house is second from the 7th house, and the 7th house is the house of other people. And the second to the 7th house, being the 8th house, is other people's values and other people's sort of like speech, sound that's coming out of their voice. It would be their throat chakra. So your communication with other people is being revisited, and you're receiving some information that is going to connect you more to maybe other people. It could be other people in general. It could be a personal relationship that hasn't been that great. It could be a relationship with a family member. I often get cups the most as it relates to family more than anything. I don't get, we also don't have any financial things going on here. We don't have any pentacles. So that lets me know that it's a lack of material things. So this doesn't have to do with personally, your finances or anything like that. It doesn't have to do anything with regarding health or daily routines. It doesn't have anything to do with your career. This is solely communication, emotional thoughts, words being spoken here that are just going to please you. Okay, so that's really the big surprise. Somebody who you may have misunderstood is going to open up, because the 8th house is the house of vulnerability as well. So this is your vulnerability, your ability to open up to other people. Either you're opening up to other people, or they're opening up to you, or it's a mutual thing. Yeah, it could be a mutual thing. There's 3 situations here because this is a general reading, so I don't want to just say, oh, it's only this. But this opening up is going to allow you guys to be closer together. So a bond is becoming stronger. And that is what I have for you, pile number 1. If that doesn't resonate, then feel free to choose another pile. And it has been a pleasure reading for you. Oh, hope to see you next time. Au revoir. Hey, pile number 2, let us get started on your reading. I don't know what it is, but I am in such a move. I think my confidence is just more up lately. Not that it was ever really low, but don't you know when you get that super confidence high? Granted, my confidence was pretty good before, but like, let's just get into this reading. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the 3 of Swords, and we have the Lovers card. We have the Leo, I will, and we have Gemini, I think. So this is an interesting one because I kind of feel like there's more than one message here. Similar to the last pile, there does seem to be this theme of reconnection because it's like the Knight of Pentacles is being celebrated by the Knight of Swords, who is broken-hearted lovers, you know what I mean? Connection. So it's like somebody who may have hurt you is reaching out to praise you in a sense, or maybe they want you back or something like that. I don't know, but I hope it's not one of those exes are coming back. God, if we could just get rid of people like that in our lives. So it could be something like that. Or there's another twist to this. It's kind of like saying that you meet someone who in a sense helps you get over being lonely, which is also a feeling I get for the 3 of Swords. I've gotten the 3 of Swords, well, not me personally, but I've seen, like, I do a lot of research on cards and stuff. At least I did, especially when I was learning. I still do, just because I like staying informed and updating and seeing what other people are getting for readings. I think it just helps you improve as a reader. But I've seen people get the 3 of Swords to represent something that you don't want to end. Like, it's like pulling at your heartstrings. Like, you're like, oh my God. You know how, like, you have this feeling where you're like, everything good, all good things come to an end. So it represents sort of like this feeling of like, oh, I don't really want this to end. I don't want to end up in heartbreak. I don't want to be sad in a sense. So it's kind of like saying somebody's coming into your life, or they're already there, and they're going to help you, I guess, negate this feeling, sort of just get rid of it and say, hey, you don't even have to worry about something like that. When I get the Lovers on the end, it's weird. Like, pile number 1 was similar too, because they got like the 2 of Cups on the end too, representing like there being connection here. So with the Major Arcana, this lets me know that this is a more sort of deeper connection, more so than the 2 of Cups. That's the main reason one of the main differences between the cards. There's actually a few. I also get the Lovers to represent Gemini energy, and we got Gemini energy again. So I do got to say something about the 3rd house, and that represents normally siblings, communication, neighbors, close friends. I haven't had it too much with romantic connections besides dating, like lighthearted dating. It's not like relationship dating, but because we have this Leo energy, for some of you guys it will have been somebody in a relationship. For most of you it will have been not quite in a relationship, maybe a situationship, maybe a flirtation, because Gemini energy is just so flirtatious. Oh my gosh, most people can't handle that Gemini energy, that back and forth wildness going on here. It's because they're so analytical. They have to look at everything from a different angle, and so it creates that, you know, push and pull thing. So it's basically, for a lot of you guys, this will be like a situationship, flirtation. Maybe you've gone on a few dates, and for other pals, for the other of you, this will be a slightly deeper connection where you have at least initiated intimacy, okay? Because the fifth house can rule over, I guess, your private areas as well. So, so what I get here is you receiving some sort of compliments, some sort of praise in regards to something that like somebody, how do I phrase this? Let me use my words because I'm trying to work on my communication. I get that you're receiving compliments and praise from someone who could have possibly hurt you. Number two, it's either compliment or praise from somebody who helps you get over heartbreaks or get over hard situations from the past, like a flirtation or something, which, you know, happens sometimes. Sometimes you're stuck in a rut and you're feeling sorry for yourself and you're just like, man, I just want someone, I don't know, cute to talk to or something like that, whatever. Something like that. And this situation is like similar to that, where somebody new is coming and doing that for you, because I get knights to represent more new energy. Knights and pages are like, we're starting with this. So flirtation, romance going on here. So there's some good things going on with that, helping you get over a heartbreak mainly. Another thing, if you guys just aren't having that love life popping like that, then this represents creative energy. So for the third category of people, this is you being praised on your creative work, because I get the Knight of Pentacles. We have to recognize that it did pop up first. So that does let me know for a good chunk of you, this is a practical matter. And in astrology, Pentacles are related to the second house, your financial house, and also your self-worth. Your sixth house, which is your house of health, as also your sort of daily routine. Like I get up, I drink some coffee, go to work, you know, like stuff like that. And your 10th house, which is your career. And not only that, if not career, your reputation out in the world. So it's kind of like you're receiving praise about some work or responsibilities or duties, things that you have been putting your energy into. I often get the Knight of Pentacles to represent someone being a little bit of a workaholic. So something that you have been really, really working hard towards, you're going to receive praise from it. And it could be from a colleague, or it could be from someone who you previously cut ties with, maybe a former boss, maybe a former employee, maybe a former co-worker, somebody who you may just no longer work with, because sometimes Three of Swords is just separation and you're just sad that you guys don't no longer work together. And like I said, the Lovers can represent that sort of like people you encounter on that daily basis energy, not necessarily always a romantic connection. It can represent people like siblings, you know, colleagues, people you previously worked with. So it could be seeming like you get some news of that sort. Now that does seem like a small surprise in hindsight, but it is very positive and it's nice to be recognized for your work. Another thing this could be is like you feel like you're being reconnected to someone, similar to pile number one. But I just have to mention that because whenever I get the Lovers card, I get things coming together and I get separation. So it's like the separation is in a way ending in a sudden, unexpected way, which makes sense because we are doing surprises. Now let's go to this astrological energy with Leo here, which lets me know that we are also including your house of fun and pleasure, because these cards kind of go together, don't they? The Six of Wands and Leo, that sort of performer like energy. So I don't know if you are personally a performer or anything. Maybe you're going to get an opportunity to perform that you never thought you would, because I mean, this year has been crazy, but it does make a lot of sense that if you chose this card that you would be like a writer, songwriter, singer, entertainer, or something like that. And so maybe you get an opportunity to show off your work and you get praise and recognition for that. It doesn't have to be those categories. I'm just trying to give you examples of what it could be, what sort of creative works. Okay, so if you are involved in some sort of creative field, I do see recognition for that. And if it's not creative, then it's highly attuned to social media, because the Leo house is third from Gemini, which means it's the higher form of Gemini, which means it's the higher form of communication and higher form of skills, as well as Sagittarius, but higher form of skills. So it's like you're saying your skills are being recognized, as well as your communication is improving, which can be like, oh, you've gotten like a bigger social media following or something like that. So that is what I have for you, pile number 2, and I hope this reading resonates with you. If not, feel free to choose another pile and I will be happy to read for that pile for you. Why am I so awkward? I'm just gonna end this and I will see you next time. Au revoir. Okay guys, if you've chosen pile number 3 being number 6, let's get started on your reading. Can I pick this up? So we have the 9 of Swords, we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 2 of Pentacles. So that's very, very interesting, okay? Because this is a lot of like very active energy. Like you've got a lot to do, okay? So you guys are a busy pile. And we also have Aquarius and Neptune for the astrology oracle cards. Okay, so let me bring these cards closer so you guys can get a better look. I need to work on my posture. So when we have 2 9s in a row, then I know this is solely going through a major change. So whatever surprise this is going to have to do with some significant changes in your life. Maybe not even significant because they aren't major arcana, but I know 9s represent an ending of something as well from numerology wise. During 9 years, we normally have like sort of like a changing of life course, almost like make or break you. 9s kind of remind me of Saturn return, or at least Saturn going through your first house. And what I mean by that is it brings a lot of responsibilities to you and a lot of things that you need to take care of. So let's say you were somebody who has always had like a bad knee or something like that, and all of a sudden this 9 year came about and you needed to take care of your bad knee because now you can't walk, you can't move your leg, and you're like, what's going on? I'm having some problems here, so now you have to go to the doctor and address this issue. Okay, so this is a 9 years, like take care of this or else, you know what I mean? That's that 9 energy. So right away, right off the back, I know you have a lot going on, pile number 3. Like, holy you have a little bit more anxiety and worries than the other 2 piles, which is, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure you're taking the steps to address it, because we have these pentacles here, and pentacles to me represent sort of like those practical everyday things. And it's not even just to me, that's just what they represent. It's like representing, like, let's say I have to do the dishes or something like that. That would be represented by pentacles, as well as let's say I have to brush my hair. That's represented by pentacles because I'm taking care of my physical body or something like that. Or if I were to put on some makeup or buy some makeup, that would be pentacles as well. I actually got the Page of Pentacles one time to represent a new haircut, and I often get the Page of Pentacles to represent music as well, like listening to music. I got it one time reversed to listening for old music. So that's something that tells you something about the cards as well. So right off the back, I know that you are trying to counteract these daily, like these stressors going on in your mind by doing things and sticking to a routine that is somewhat pleasant and pleasing to you and not too difficult. You're spending a lot of time trying to grow yourself, better yourself, and make some good decisions, which can overall, I guess, help you with your anxiety, as well as make you feel a little bit alive and very excited as well. When I have this 5 of Wands energy, and we're going to represent it in a good way, it's like feeling like excited about something, feeling like you have these feelings being stirred inside of you. Like 5 of Wands is about competition and feeling like you've met your match and you're like, oh, I can compete with someone. But not only you are competing with them, you are learning from them, because as I said in the last pile, wand energy represents the fire sign houses, which is the first house, yourself, the fifth house, which is entertainment, but as well as education, and the ninth house, which is higher education. So it's like you are learning from the people around you, and they're motivating you to look and see the other options out there, okay? Because when we have the Two of Pentacles, it's like saying you have a lot to juggle, you have a lot going on, and you're being motivated by others. It's like you see other people, you know, on their grind or struggling, and you're like, okay, well, I can do this, I can handle things too. So the main thing I'm getting is like just feeling surprisingly motivated and feeling like you have a lot of choices and options, as well as sometimes I get the Two of Pentacles to represent distance. So I don't know where you live or what's going on, but maybe there's some traveling going on, and maybe you never thought that you would get to that place where you're traveling, because I mean we do have a lot going on that would prevent that, or it could make it more dangerous, but now you feel like you can go somewhere and do some things, okay? So I just want to throw that out there, because I don't want it to seem like you guys are stuck in a rut. So you feel like you have some options available to you, or maybe you have some paperwork being done, like if you were traveling abroad and you needed to do some paperwork, or if you were moving to a different country and you weren't sure that was going to happen because you had a lot of things going on, and especially with all the regulations and immigrations going on in the US, or maybe even in other countries, you were just like, I don't even know if this is possible. Well, it's possible, and it's probably coming. Another thing, when we have the Nine of Pentacles, I just want to state the obvious, is you may be receiving some funds, or you may even be receiving some a raise in a sense, because Nine of Pentacles can represent a raise, but really I sort of get this to be like reinvesting and playing the stock market. I don't know if that is for some of you. I just wanted to throw that in there, only because we have Aquarius, and we have the Five of Wands, and then we also have the Two of Pentacles. So it's like juggling money going up and down, or just like unexpected money. And a lot of times that can represent gambling, stock market, investing your money into things and not sure if you're going to get things back, or a return investment. And this lets me know that this is going to work out for you, okay? So like I said, it's like more like you're expanding your portfolio in a sense. It doesn't have to literally be a stock portfolio. It could just be that you are expanding the amount of options that you have available to you. Now let me just see if I can think of a good way to encompass this, because like I said, this pile has so much going on, but the main thing is it's focusing on Pentacles, like I said, that career, that financial situation, your health. So, and then we're looking at this Aquarius 2 energy and Neptune as well. So there is an energy of beautification going on here. I was looking at this chart of someone I knew, and they had the most beautiful looking girlfriend I'd ever seen, like woman I'd ever seen in my life. And they had their Venus, this guy had his Venus conjunct Neptune, and he also had his Venus conjunct Saturn, I believe. And so when we have like this earthly energy, because Saturn is like an earthly planet, it does rule over Capricorn, as well as it rules over Aquarius too. And then we also have Neptune, which is like a higher form of Venus energy, or like almost think of like Hollywood glamour. Like Marilyn Monroe had her Neptune in her first house, so it gives you like this very glamorous image. It's like saying some of you are working on beautifying yourselves and being quite pleased and surprised at the results. I mean, maybe you just look really good or something like that. But that's a surprise that's coming. Another thing is because we have this Aquarius, and Aquarius rules income, money coming in. Once again, we have something indicating finances, financial gain, maybe even learning something about finances. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I made a whole bunch of money. It's just like, oh, I got some information that could allow me to make a bunch of money. Okay. And then with Neptune here, Neptune is like this energy that makes just everything seem so beautiful and so lovely and so nice. And also with Aquarius, it does represent sort of like dreams coming true, wish fulfillment and stuff like that. So it lets me know that something that you find very very appealing, that seems like it could just be like a fantasy in a sense, is coming true. Now, this could be, like I said, this could be having to do with taking a break possibly from things. I don't want to say taking a break because your energy is very high with this reading, but I just got to throw it in there because I'm sure that resonates for a small few of you guys. But it can be mainly like dissolving of some stressors when it comes to money. It could be dissolving what word? Disappearing some issues you may have had about your appearance and feeling more confident. Sorry that cut off, guys. But yeah, it's kind of like saying, I want to take a pause to just take everything in. So don't mind me. Sometimes I need to just do a bird's eye view real quick. So I don't know if some of you are interested in having a job that can take you to a different country or a different state or just further away from home, but this would indicate that as well. It's like somebody being stressed about their own independence and wanting something new, but feeling like things are really competitive. But this would represent getting some sort of fantasy job offer payment, as well as if we take this, because Aquarius is the house of networking and friends as well, it's almost like you are using either you're using your network circle to further advance you, or you're using them to further motivate you. So the main surprise could possibly be, like I said, financial, beautification, having some surprises like some connection that helps you get some sort of job if you guys are looking for that, expansion of independence, as well as Aquarius sort of connects to feeling like this humanitarian connection, because we do have somebody helping someone out here, and just Aquarius is just like helping people, okay? Feeling like you have more options available to you, like you've overcome something that's allowed you to gain more options, and having things work out a little bit faster for you, okay? I just want to throw that out there. So this is a very interesting pile in a sense, okay? Because I know this pile has some really big dreams, and it's like you are getting closer to accomplishing them, and that's like a lot faster than you thought you would. That's like the main message I'm getting from this pile. If I were to summarize it, you will be shocked by how much closer you're getting to accomplishing your goals, and it's going to feel like it's really within reach, or you're going to reach it, okay? So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me at Astro_Tarot Research. And that is what I have for you. I will see you next time. Au revoir. Okay, if you've chosen the number 3, being pile number 4, then let us get started on your reading. Let me move that here, actually. What is the next good surprise in 2020, or the next surprises that 2020, good surprises 2020 is bringing? So we have the 7 of Wands, the 4 of Cups, the King of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles. Then we have the lunar eclipse, and we have Capricorn. So right away, guys, you guys are funny because you guys are so frustrated. This pile is like the most I'm over 2020 pile that I've seen so far with this reading. We do have one pile more left, so they could be more over than you guys, but so far you guys are taking the cake. Let's first of all check and see what we don't see here. And what we don't see here is air energy. So we know that what's going to happen is not going to be related to communication and your relationship with other people. And I'm not saying they're not going to bother you or they're not going to help you in some way, but the surprise and the good news does not pertain to you having to communicate and react and relate to others, okay? I just want to put that out there. In astrology, air sign energy is connected to the third house, which, not just the third house, it's the third, the 11th, and the 7th house. So the 7th house is the house of relationship, third house is the house of communication, and the 11th house is the house of friendships as well as wishes and dreams. And that's a short summary. They obviously all rule multiple things, but I'm not going to sit here for like an hour and list everything that they rule. So I know that the surprise does not have to do with your relationship to other people and the world around you. This has to do with your relationship with yourself, actually, especially when we have the lunar eclipse. So when we have a lunar eclipse, we have the sun and the moon aligning, and so they're sort of like opposite to each other. When we have people with this natally, it does a few things. It can make someone, I've noticed, very much motivated, but at the same time they kind of feel like their ambitions and their desires are in conflict with one another. And it's kind of funny that we're getting this water and fire energy, same with the sun and the moon. So it's almost like what I'm getting here is the things that you want in life, the things that you are pouring your energy into, because it helps sort of like feed your ego, feed your soul in a sense. Now, I don't mean ego in a bad way. I mean, just like we all have goals and ambitions. Like, for example, let's say I really wanted to be, I don't know, let's say if I was going to be like, I want to be the best astrologer out there on YouTube or something like that. And in order to do that, I would probably have to post a lot. And if I did that, it would probably be very draining for me and I would feel very dissatisfied. But at the same time, my ego is being fulfilled of getting more followers and stuff. But at the same time, I'm dissatisfied emotionally because I'm being drained. So it's like something like that where your ego is in conflict with your emotional needs. So that's what I mean by that. So this year, it's more like you're going to find a way to use that emotional sort of friction to benefit you. And it's interesting. I know we have this 5 of Pentacles on the end to sort of represent something being good, which is not the normal thing you think of when you think of 5 of Pentacles. Normally I get the 5 of Pentacles when it's representing someone good is to represent someone being with you in a time of need. But since we don't have that sort of relationship with other people, granted, Pentacles can represent family. So if they do represent anything, it's like family, husband, wife, long-term partner. So Pentacles can mean that. So you may feel like this year, the biggest surprise is that you have other people you didn't expect helping you in your time of need. And from the sound of it and the looks of it, this is very practical advice. And because we have a lunar eclipse, I don't know if this is just a more masculine energy woman or a feminine energy man. And I only mention that because we have the lunar eclipse. So it's going to be one of those energies. Because normally my cards are very literal for me. Normally I get the kings to represent men. in general, but not always. But normally they do overall represent, I'll say 80% of the time, the cards communicate to me as kings being men. Okay. So I'm just going to throw it out there that the King of Wands is like some male figure helping you out that you did not expect. I don't know if you're going through financial hardships, or even if it's just like, because Pentacles can represent your self-worth. And so it could just overall feel like you are not feeling good about yourself. And surprisingly, someone says or does something for you that makes you feel good. Okay, that's like a shocking thing happening for you in 2020. Like someone's actively helping you build confidence and make you feel great about yourself. And maybe this is a close relationship. Maybe it's a book you read. Maybe it's just you spending time reflecting with yourself and you're saying, you know what, I'm the ish. Maybe you're the person making you feel good. But whatever it is, it's like you're letting go of things that you just don't need. You're like, do I really need to have all of these negative thoughts all the time? Do I really need all these worries? Do I really need, it could even be very practical matters, and I only mention that because we have these pentacles. You could be like, well, do I really need this bagel? Okay, like I have enough food. Do I need to spend all this money on more food? Do I really need to be eating lobster every day or something like that? Granted, I don't think most of you guys are eating lobster every day. I don't know anybody who does that, but you're letting go of things you don't need in 2020, and that's like the most surprising thing, where you just drop it. Sometimes I get the Five of Pentacles to represent bad habits, things that you just are like, what do I need this for? Like what do I need to be going out I don't know, consuming substances that hurt my body? Let's drop that. You know what I mean? Let's drop all the bad habits. Could be anything from junk food to drugs or alcohol or something. I'm not here to judge you guys. It's whatever. We all have bad habits. So whatever it is, it's like you're dropping that and you're like, wow, I really didn't expect myself to just easily get rid of that. I need to work on my posture. I want to get rid of that bad habit of mine. Suddenly I just sit up straight. Okay. But anyway, with the lunar eclipse in Capricorn, which is interesting because we have all this energy in Capricorn, it might be like you say, you know what? I don't really need this job. You know, maybe some of you guys are quitting your job and you're like, I want to move my career and life focus in a different direction. One that brings me that emotionally satisfactory energy. I don't need it. Maybe I'll go, I'm not making the money. I'm not getting that income, but you're like, I don't need it anymore. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. So that could be happening for you in 2020, where you just let go of a job and you're saying, wow, I shocked myself on how much I did not give a whatever. You know what I mean? So that's something that could happen for you. It's like you just boss up in 2020, where you just have so much confidence and this abundance mindset going for you, where you feel like everything is aligning in my favor and it's time for me to just drop this I can't do it and I need this to hold on to, and I'm doing this for the money, or I'm doing this for the security, and this makes me feel good. And you're like, I don't need that anymore. All I need is me. So 2020, it's like a rise, a boost in your self-esteem, as well as feeling motivated to do things and help people. Okay, so that is the message I got for most of you for this reading. But if we concentrate mainly on this Capricorn energy does have to do with institutions. And so you may be surprised, like let's say if you were applying for a loan, this could be like, oh, I'm surprised I got it. This could just literally be that for some of you, or you're surprised that certain government facilities and etc. will help you out if you need a home or something like that, or just not even just home related. It could be pretty much any area aspect of your life which brings you sort of emotional fulfillment or stability, or you feel just overall improves your enthusiasm and motivation to move forward. Okay, so it's just something like that where you could be receiving help in that manner. But the main energy, guys, I know you guys are just so frustrated, especially with the 7 of Wands here. I always get this for like feeling like you gotta fight battle after battle, and you're like, I'm over it. And you're like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not giving chaos and drama my energy. And it will surprise you how easily you just let it go. Okay, you're just saying, sorry, I don't really have any use for this, which makes sense with Capricorn, and I use, right? Such a practical sign, and we have all these planets and everything in Capricorn just doing their thing and restructuring everything. So you are restructuring your life. I can say that for sure. In 2020, you're going to come out of 2020 with a new plan and a new routine and a sense of purpose. You're throwing away your old routine, your old habits, things that are just not, you don't need that. What do you need that soda for? Or what do you need, I don't know. What do you need that new jacket for? What are you spending your money on? I don't know. Whatever you spend your money on. I don't know what other people spend their money on, so I'm not going to even venture to guess. But you're just like, I don't need that anymore. I want things that are going to bring me fulfillment. And so what's surprising you is your own mentality and your own change of pace in 2020. I hope that makes sense. Your own actions, and also like all the other stuff that I mentioned before where someone could possibly help you out in job opportunities and loans and stuff. So keep all that in mind, and hopefully this resonates, and that is what I have for you, pal number 4. I will see you next week. Au revoir. Hey, pal number 5, let's get started on your reading on what surprises will be coming for you in 2020. Good surprises, I said. Say. Okay, so we have the 2 of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Devil, the 4 of Swords, and Death, 11th house recipes, as well as Earth element. Interesting. All right, that's pretty pretty standard. So you guys, this is pretty straightforward for me. With Earth element, I know it's going to be financial and practical. What that means is more than likely there's going to be a financial upheaval, and with the 11th house letting me know you're going to reach some financial goals that will get you very excited. And if it's not financial, then it will have to do with either your routine. And what I mentioned with routine with this 4 of Swords here, it's almost like you're going to get a break. So you could have been working hard and feel like, like you just been grinding and grinding away or something like that. And you're just like, oh, finally, I just get some peace. So you will get some peace and quiet as well. With the Death card here, it represents sort of radical changes, okay? And because it's following this 4 of Swords, maybe you guys have been suffering with some sleep issues or something like that, or just even feeling like you don't get a break, you don't get time to yourself, or you just don't have enough time to rest. So that is going to change in 2020. You're going to get plenty of time to relax, or at least at some point you're going to be surprised that like, oh, I actually get a moment to myself. With the Devil card here, and Devil card represents Capricorn, which represents financial gains, oftentimes or material world possessions, as well as the Earth element, as well as the Death card being connected to the house of Scorpio. So it's almost like you get some financial gains from other people. And other times this could be like lottery, stock market, as well as like government assistance, or just assistance from other people, because sometimes I get the Death card to represent somebody else just sort of giving you money or giving you things, or even just giving you advice, useful advice, okay? Especially since we have this Four of Swords energy. I would say for some of you, maybe listen to your thoughts when you're resting. Another thing is for mental activity with Death card here, it's like you change your thought pattern, so you're able to get to a mental state that is more peaceful. But we have to go back and we have to look at what's not here, right? So we don't have any water sign energy. So in terms of emotional fulfillment, it's not like you won't get any this year. This is about surprises, right? Good things that are happening for you. I mean, the Death card is connected to Scorpio, so there is that water energy in that regard. But in terms of minor arcana, we have to look at the fact that that is not available, as well as we have to look at the fact that we don't have any coins available. But it is strange that we do have the Devil representing material, so that is an earth element. And then we also have earth element here, so I can't just ignore the fact that we have that. So I'm just going to just say that the earthly energy is going to be more major changes, because this is minor arcana, so maybe the cards are like, we're not going to mention that because it's going to be a huge change for this person. Same with the Death card. Death card is always such a crazy huge emotional change, so transformation that's going to even shock you. When we have the Devil card as well, and we have the Page of Wands, it's almost like you guys may be either impulsive spenders, or you just have, sometimes with the Devil, you have this need to be in control. And I think everyone at some point suffers from the fact that they just can't control everything around them. And they feel like, oh my gosh, like I would just love to be able to not have to worry about things that you can't control, okay? So it's like you are going to get to a place where you're like, I'm not even worried about, you know, all this other stuff. People are going to act how they're going to act. Things are going to happen like they're going to happen, and you just sort of let go of control. So that's something that happens. Another thing is with the Page of Wands, like I said, this card acts impulsively. So that behavior more than likely is going to change. If you're somebody who's very reactive, then this puts that to, I wouldn't say an end, but it's like, well, maybe it is an end because we do have Death card here. But for some of you, there's just going to be some major changes. You're going to stop and pause before you react to things, and you're just going to reflect. And with the Two of Swords here, this lets me know that you probably have some air sign energy in your chart. And I only say that because when we have the Two of Swords, we have somebody who can't make a decision. And the reason people can't make a decision is because they're viewing things from different angles. You can say, I see how the situation will work out if I did this, or I see this the situation does this. But then you're just like, oh, well, I'm gonna just go for something with this Page of Wands, something energy, and it doesn't always work out for you. I know that because the Devil card's here, and if the Devil card is definitely a card where things just aren't going how you want them to go. Maybe at first it feels good, but then you're like, this sucks. That's the Devil card energy. So it's like saying you are going to stop making these decisions impulsively. That's another thing. It'll just surprise even you. Your ability to change your own behavior is going to surprise you. Your control that you have over your thoughts and your actions is going to surprise you. You're going to take a deeper look into your psyche. I know that without a doubt. And then with the 11th house, friends and earth elements, like you have a good support system, especially when it comes to your friends. Okay, so your friends' support and your friends' ability to be stable and to be consistent in your life is really going to shock you. You're going to be like, man, I really have some dope friends. Like that's 2020 energy is like saying, wow, I have some cool friends. But I'm trying to say dreams next because like the 11th house connects to not only just your friendships, but your hopes and wishes and your dreams. And we have the earth element there, and earth signs being something you can feel, touch, taste, smell, like something that's in front of you. We are going to be actualizing your dreams. The dreams that you have inside of your head are going to be coming true, and that's going to surprise you in 2020. You're going to be like, wow, that effort paid off. That's crazy, right? So funny, because with the Devil card energy, it does represent Capricorn, and we do have these planets and things going on in Capricorn. I think another pile got Capricorn as well. And it's like saying whatever house, I want to say that these planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are in whatever house that's in. If it's in the first house for you, then you're going to accomplish a lot of different goals, because the first house rules over your entire life. It really connects, though, I'll say, to the physical body. So I'm going to put that out there, that if you have some goals you have set for your physical body, it will be that. If this is in your second house and you have some financial goals set, and you have some, maybe you want to get to know yourself on a deeper level, because the second house can rule your value system, what you value. I personally have my own Saturn there in the second house, and what it does is it makes you really, really think hard and puts you in situations which will test your value system repeatedly. And what that does is it allows you to grow and give you a strong sense of self. Okay, so I know I personally do not let other people define me, which happens quite a lot. Like, you know, how people are, they see you talk one way, they see you dress one way or dress another way, and they try to put you in a box and define you. For me personally, I don't allow it. I don't say, oh man, you're right, I do that. I'm saying, I don't agree. That's, you know what I mean? It just gives you a clear, strong sense of self, is what Saturn does. And it does it over time, because Saturn's a slow moving planet. So if you have those planets transiting your second house, you're going to get that wish fulfillment in regards to knowing yourself. If this is your third house, you know, it's like the communication stabilizes. I feel like such an egotistical person. I keep giving examples of me, but I don't want to give examples of like other people I know right now, just because my brain's dying at the moment. Like, I'm so tired. It's probably like 2 a.m. right now. So I'll just give one more example of me, because I'm clearly being self-centered right now. But like, I know I personally am working on my own communication. So if you're somebody who has issues feeling like you can't always speak what's on your mind, or maybe other people are talking over you, or you feel like if you feel like other people think you sound dumb or unclear, or if your message isn't getting across and you struggle with that, then you'll be working on that, and you'll have some dreams and goals actualized towards that, and then so on and so forth. So please look for where Saturn and Jupiter are transiting in your chart. If you're into astrology, you'll be able to find that out, and then just look up where what that house represents, and you have some goals connected to that. If we are to look at things from just what tarot has given us, we know it's the 8th house and the 10th house. So some career goals that you wanted to accomplish will be coming true, and it's going to put your mind at ease, okay? And this sort of sense of relaxedness is going to bring about this change in you, okay? That's what I want to say, but I could go on for a really, really long time. But like, I mainly get that you're going to have some shocking moments regarding friends, and it's just having to do with feeling very connected to them. Some shocking moments regarding finances, positive moments, obviously. Nobody wants them. It's never good if it's a bad, shocking financial moment. Some things having to do with you being able to get some wish fulfillment, possibly changing a different job, possibly changing your attitude, getting rid of bad habits, feeling like things are changing. And this is a really great pile for you. I mean, in terms of like sexuality as well, I don't know, maybe you getting into some freaky stuff, because I only mention that because we got the Devil card representing, what the Devil card represents, and the Death card representing connecting to Scorpio, which has to do with sexuality. So there's could be some revelations in your sexuality. I don't know, guys. Or maybe you just, have some fun with someone. I'm not here to be all up in your personal business like that, or maybe I am. That's what these readings are for, right? But like, it might be a fun time for you in that department. So I have to put that out there just because we had that energy and also with that fire next to it. So maybe some flirtation going on, if anything, that might be there as well. So that is what I have for you guys, and I cannot wait to see you next video. I think that's everything. Go check out my next astrological video and next tarot video. I should have one more tarot video, then I'm taking a break, and then astrology video. So that's like a longer break, but I'm working on it now, so it shouldn't be super long before that video is posted. Hopefully it's not another month, unless I get carried away with the research. I have so much research. I've already started already. I'm just super excited. Let's just end this video because I've been talking too long, and I'll see you next time. Au revoir.